What's up again, everybody? It's been a long time since we've done a combo video, so let's hop into one right now. Believe it or not, this is a 5-card combo that is actually really easy and consistent to pull off, made easy and consistent by the low purchase costs of the characters that you need to actually use it. The win condition of this combo is this Baron Zemo Evil Leadership, the rare from the Civil War set. It's a 3-cost mask character villain with the resistance keyword that says when a character die you control is KO'd, Baron Zemo may not be blocked until the end of the turn. Keep in mind this is a 3-cost character with an 022-133-246 stat line, and because of his ability, it cannot be blocked. All we've got to do to trigger his ability is KO one of our own characters. And there are several good ways to do that. The way that we are going to use is KOing some of our characters via Fabricate. So any of the golems from the second D&D set have Fabricate. I chose this Flesh Golem because it has a 2-3 Fabricate, which means I can KO one of my 3-cost characters and a sidekick along with it. And I chose the uncommon specifically because it protects from damage against my other characters. Any of the clay golems are also good for Fabricate because they have a 2-4 Fabricate, and we will be KOing 2-cost characters most of the time, but I figured if we have a 3-cost character that we want to KO at one point, then we can do that using this golem. Everybody knows Alfred, the uncommon 2-cost version from the World's Finest set. His ability says, when KO'd, you may roll a sidekick or Batman die from your used pile. If it rolls an energy result, return Alfred to the field zone at level 1. Either way, return the rolled die to the used pile. His 2-cost makes him a great early game buy. He's a great defender because he blocks and then comes right back out most of the time, and it's his ability that brings him back that we're going to exploit to really buff up our unblockable Baron Zemo. Alright, 2 more pieces of the puzzle. The next piece of the puzzle is Vibranium Shield from the Civil War set. This is a continuous action die that says, when a character you control is KO'd, character dice you control get +2 defense until the end of the turn. So this will be adding +2 defense every time one of our characters gets KO'd, and so if we fabricate 2 of our characters, it's giving our characters +4 defense. Add this to the really strong level 3 side defense of 6 for our Baron Zemos, and we've already got up to 10. And the final piece, if you haven't guessed it already, is Kal-El from Another Earth for his global. Pay a shield, switch target character dies, attack, and defense until the end of the turn. So that's a lot of moving parts, but it's actually pretty easy, so let's talk through it. We're going to buy 2 Baron Zemos, we're going to get them out in the field, we're going to buy 2 Alfreds, we're going to fabricate them 1,000 times after we've bought a Vibranium Shield and set that out in the field. The Vibranium Shield triggers every time an Alfred KOs. Those Alfreds hopefully roll back, and then we can do fabricate again, and then finally, after our Baron Zemos have a ridiculous amount of defense, we are going to pay 2 shields, flip their attacks and defense, and then hit our opponent for unblockable damage, hopefully more than 20, because that would be super cool. So because our combo takes up 5 out of the 8 spots on our team, we only have 3 spots left to pack in any protection or any ramp that we want to get into this team. So my first consideration is what beats our team. If we're playing against somebody that is running Blink Transmutation, then they can pay the Mask Global on Blink Transmutation to blink back our attackers, and we can never really get through even though we have unblockable damage. So to avoid our characters being targeted by Blink Transmutation, we're going to run this rare Raven. She's a 4-cost mask character that says while Raven is active, your Mask and Teen Titans characters cannot be targeted by your opponent. This is great because Baron Zemo is a mask character, so once she hits the board, she is protecting him from being blinked back. The next thing we have to worry about is card text wiping via Shriek. We have a few options to combat this, namely Wonder Woman Reflections and running our own Shriek. Now, how do we choose between them? Well, taking into consideration that we have no ramp currently on this team and that all of our characters that we're looking to purchase are pretty low drops, we can keep in that same vein and run Shriek, wipe any card text that we need to protect our own characters, like our opponent's Shriek or a super rare Ronin. And because we have a lot of 3 and 2 drops, we can take serious advantage of Rip Hunter's Chalkboard, because most of our purchases can be ripped over. Using Rip Hunter Chalkboard's global, we can just pay a shield alongside our first purchase each turn and prep over one of those win condition pieces, thereby ensuring we roll it next turn, rather than investing heavily into ramp first and then getting it. Now, of course, if you miss on the roll, then you're going to have to work it back through the bag, and that takes a while. So some ramp is necessary. Maybe we look for that in the basic action cards. Speaking of that, let's pick some basic action cards. This combo is very easy to pull off if you already have both of your Baron Zemos on level 3. If they're on level 1 or 2, it becomes significantly more difficult because it takes a lot more KOing to ramp up their unblockable damage and kill someone in one turn. So with that in mind, we are going to run Mutation, so use Mutation's Global. Mutation's Global says pay 1 mask, spin one of your character dice down a level to spin another target character die up a level. The goal here would be to spin down our Alfreds that are going to get KO'd anyway to spin up our Baron Zemos. This also acts as a little bit of a control piece for us while not being able to really hurt us, because if our opponent buys this to mutate out our Baron Zemos, we can respond by buying our Raven and not allowing him to target any of our characters. As for our second basic action, this would be a great time to include ramp of some sort. Superhero Registration acts as a great card, but in our team where we can kind of shoestring along these low drops by just prepping them over each time we buy them, it doesn't really do as much as you'd expect. So instead of running that, we're going to run Villainous Pact for the Mask Global, because it opens up a really nice turn 1 opportunity where we can pay 1 mask to prep a die, and then pay a shield and pay 2 to buy an Alfred, thus rolling 6 dice on the second turn. Now in order to do that, we'd have to roll 2 shields, a mask, and then some other energy, and we'd have to do that going second, but that's a really strong opening if we can actually pull it off, and that pushes us really far ahead. The other nice thing about Villainous Pact is that even though our opponent could buy it, it can't really affect us too much, because again, Baron Zemo is a villain, and that's the one they want to affect, that's the one they want to try and figure out how to KO. So that's the combo. It's 5 cards, and it seems like it's a lot to do. It seems like there's a lot of moving parts, but really you're making just 5 purchases. 2 Baron Zemos, 2 Alfreds, 1 Vibranium Shield, and then you're just using globals to get you the rest of the way, so you need 2 shields to flip the attack and defense, and some masks to act as pseudo-ramp. Now this is a pretty popular combo, so let me know what you guys think about the team composition that I've put around it. I know there's several people out there that have run this combo a lot, so let me know if you think these are good choices or what choices you would make instead of some of these cards. Sound off in the comments below, and as always, thanks for watching.